Insulin counter-regulatory hormones. Counter-regulatory hormone, now that's a mouthful, isn't it? Think about a counter-regulatory hormone as being the opposite effect of what happens with insulin. So if insulin does one thing, if the opposite thing happens, that's counter-regulatory. So a catecholamine is one of those items that can cause counter-regulatory responses to insulin. What are your catecholamines? Epinephrine, norepinephrine. This causes glycogenolysis. So this is the breakdown of glycogen, which is the opposite of what insulin does. Insulin causes glycogenesis, which is making new glycogen. Catecholamines also cause lipolysis. So lipolysis and increases in plasma lactate. These are the opposite of what insulin would do. If we look at our glucocorticoids, and remember our primary one is cortisol. Cortisol causes effects in which you get breakdown of protein in muscle, in the liver cell. It mobilizes free fatty acids from adipose tissue. These are all opposite effects. They are catabolic effects, while insulin does anabolic effects. The other thing that glucocorticoids do is cause gluconeogenesis rather than glycolysis. Growth hormone also causes lipolysis, gluconeogenesis, and it decreases glucose uptake by muscle cells or myocytes. Those again are all things that will go in opposition to what insulin is trying to do. So when you think about insulin, you have to think about what is the blood glucose level, what are all those things that are stimulating it, but then you also have to account for what are all the different hormones working against it, like catecholamines, glucocorticoids, and growth hormone. If you can maintain blood glucose within this level of about 60 to 100 milligrams, you can have an optimal delivery of glucose to the brain. This is helpful in times of trying to stave off hypoglycemia. And maybe you've all experienced this at one time or another, when you've been really lightheaded because you haven't eaten enough glucose. Hyperglycemia is a major health issue, especially if it's chronic hyperglycemia. You can have small times in which your blood glucose is above normal. That's okay. Your kidneys will take care of it by filtering out that excess glucose and you urinate it out. But if you have high blood glucose levels for long periods of time, such as those that have diabetes, this can be very problematic to a number of basement membranes, such as blood vessels, as well as even to nerves. Damaging blood vessels and nerves can cause very big problems with the circulation and your ability to sense the external environment. In fact, renal function is another thing that is compromised to a great degree if a person has hyperglycemia for prolonged periods of time.